Once again, good evening and welcome to the F&M webcast. We're about to get underway here on the main court in the Mayser Center. Your F&M Diplomats are taking on the Carnegie Mellon Tartans in what should be a great matchup between two teams poised to make a run. Hopefully both teams will be making the NCAA tournament this year. Both teams had a great season last year. The Tartans did get into the tournament and made it to the second round. Meanwhile, F&M just missed the tournament, but ended up as the runner-up in the Centennial Conference. So two high-quality teams getting ready to face off here. No starting lineups as we have two courts playing simultaneously. On the other court, we have the other two teams, SUNY Geneseo and Elizabethtown, facing off. Those two will both get a crack at these teams tomorrow. We have noon games and 2:30 games to round out the tournament. So interesting starting lineup for F&M right out of the gate. We see a few interesting players on the court. Obviously, Sydney Levens, Leah Perez, we expect to see them. Jada West returning after her dominant season in the middle. Meredith Mangum, Defensive Player of the Year, is on the court. But Melissa Bankowitz getting the start for the Diplomats, a first year. And also Ray Baker, middle blocker junior, did not get much playing time last year, is also out on the court. So a few new faces out there for F&M. And right in, Ray Baker puts it down, gets the rejection. Coming in the start, I believe it's her first start. I don't believe she had one last year, so in her first start in a while, first one's a block. Leah Perez back to serve for the Dips. There's a big slam from Schlemmer, but that's going to go out of bounds, and that's a point for the Dips. So as I mentioned, Carnegie Mellon bringing back most of their team from previous seasons, but the big difference is that they are losing their superstar setter, Stella Yan, who just had a phenomenal year, as there's a nice sneaky serve from Leah Perez. That drops. Three quick ones for the Dips. But Stella Yan, who was first team all-conference last year in a very difficult conference, the UAA, she has graduated, and now they need a new setter to step up and fill those very big shoes for the Tartans. And so far, it looks like we're getting our first look at that setter for the Tartans. Number 7, Mindy Lai, is getting the first crack at it for the Tartans. As there's a swing and a kill. Number 16, Bankowitz, puts it down for the Dips. Bankowitz, one of the 5 first years joining the Dips this year. Bankowitz from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, gets the start and gets her first kill as an F&M Diplomat. And there's a kill. It's Avani Shashia, number 3 for the Tartans, getting the start. Shashia, one of those steady contributors last year. Wasn't necessarily a starter for the Tartans, but was a key contributor throughout the stretch, especially as they geared up for their playoff run. There's another swing by Bankowitz, just a little bit wide, and another point for the Tartans. It's going to be libero Abby Chen back to serve. There's a nice dig from Bankowitz. Little push shot from West, so that's saved. Nice dig from Perez. Bankowitz, another swing. Little chaos in the middle as they swing out wide to Shashia. Baker pushes it over. That swing is just wide from Shashia, and the Dips will take the point. Yeah, Abby Chen had a phenomenal season for the Tartans last year. Led the team in digs and was 5th in the UAA in aces. So pretty versatile libero, looking to take the next step in her junior year. There's Baker with the swing. Dug out by Lai. And that drops. Meredith Mangum can't get to it. Carnegie Mellon takes the point. Nice back and forth so far to start out the match. Push from Schlemmer. And Levens gets her first swing. Great to see Sydney Levens back on the court. As Mellon's going to get that point. Yeah, Sydney Levens had a phenomenal year for the Diplomats last year. One of their 3 All-Stars. A lot of great players on this team, but Sydney Levens got first team All-Centennial Conference. Led the team with 266 kills and is really just a great veteran presence on that team on the outside line, as there's another point for the Dips. 3 conference players on the Diplomats roster. Meredith Mangum, of course, Defensive Player of the Year. Sydney Levens, as I mentioned, was first team All-Conference. And then Gianna Mangiamelli, who has not gotten into the game yet, was All-American last year, and just her sophomore season, a great development for the Dips. As she'll likely get into the game here, as there's a nice block from Lauren Arnold, picking up where she left off. But that veteran trio of Mangum, Levens, and Mangiamelli should look to anchor this team again, as this Diplomat team is just so deep this year. There's a service ace from Jada West. F&M pulling out to an early lead, up 7-4 here in set number 1. Kept in play by Reichard. And that's just over the net and down for Shashia. It'll be Zoe Gavros, one of the 3 first years on the court for the Tartans. Not a lot of turnover on the Tartan roster. They had 3 seniors graduating. There's a nice smash from Ray Baker. Absolutely clobbered that one. But obviously we mentioned the star setter, Stella Jan, graduated. And then the only other 2 graduating for the Tartans is Olivia Devereaux and Ariana Rosario. 2 players that weren't at the top of the list in minutes played, but had big leadership roles on the Tartans. So the Tartans have replaced them with 3 first years. Or 4, I'm sorry. Zoe Gavro, Elizabeth Phillips, Julie Wu, and Nia Tamola. And we were expecting to see, for the Mellons, a competition between those 2 freshman setters. That's Wu and Tamala. But we can actually see that major contributor last year, Midley Lai, is actually going to be taking the role from the jump this season. There's a nice swing, and Mangiamelli gets her first kill of the year. She's back on the court. And Hannah McCarthy is back to serve for the Dips. Nice smash from Laura Reichard, key contributor for the Tartans, her first kill of the evening. She's coming off a great year last year, second on the team in kills in 2022. Also second in digs and third in blocks. Just that type of overall contribution is so important for a team. As there's a little misplay by McCarthy, that's going to go and hit the ground, and the Tartans get the point. Here's Jane Dean to serve. Levens with the pop-up. And that's down from Jane Dean. The F&M let it go, but Dean's able to see that drop right on the line and secure the point. Rolling to her right, Lauren Arnold. That's her sweet shot right there. And she's, over the years, developed a great chemistry with fellow senior Hannah McCarthy. That duo has been really fun to watch. Arnold and McCarthy, as I mentioned, both in their senior years. Both had really solid seasons last year. Michaela Smith in the game to serve. That block just goes wide off the swing of Bankowitz, who is getting some serious run here in set number 1. A lot going on to make the jump from high school to college, especially in a good conference that F&M's in. Competitive program. Bankowitz looks to be holding up all right. And there's a nice smash from Reichard. Another kill for her. Tartan's hanging around in this game. And there's a block. It's Reichard again. And you can see her overall contribution. Just finding ways to chip in and make an impact. A kill and then a block. Here's the setter lie. Bankowitz another swing. Push shot saved by McCarthy. That swing from Bankowitz is long. That is the area of opportunity for the Diplomats. They obviously have their 3 excellent outside hitters in Levens, Mangiamelli, and Coco Schultz. But outside of that, they don't really have another outside hitter, as there's another point for F&M. They don't really have another outside hitter. Obviously, McKenna Penuel has that experience, and she certainly could chip in that way, but we are seeing a couple masks over on that F&M sideline. Looks like there might be a little bit of a bug sweeping through the team. We can see number 4, Coco Schultz, is masked up, as well as McKenna Penuel. So we could maybe expect that they're under the weather tonight, leaving a larger role for Bankowitz to make an impression in her first game. McCarthy tries to dig that out. It's saved, and she pops it up on her knees. A little sloppy. And there's the dagger from Schlemmer. So another point for Mellon. And Reichard back to serve. Mangiamelli with a nice smack. Kept in play. In the middle, West. Dug out by Chen. And a great swing in the middle from Herkenrother. So Mellon on a bit of a run here. They have evened things up at 13 here about halfway through set number 1. And it's just been a little bit of miscommunication on the F&M side. Haven't quite gotten the swings that they're looking for yet. As Smith puts that one over. And McCarthy off the set. There's Bankowitz, dug out. And another great swing from Schlemmer, who is really doing damage from that right side. Schlemmer, one of the key contributors last year, of course, for the Tartans. She was honorable mention in the conference last year. And this isn't any old conference, folks. This is the University Athletic Association, where many teams are ranked. As there's Mangiamelli with her patented right side kill. So to earn conference honors is a big deal for the Tartans, and Schlemmer did it in her sophomore year, or in her freshman year, I'm sorry. So she's only a sophomore this year. She led the team with 255 kills and seems poised to be taking over an even larger role this year with the graduation of their superstar. Nice swing from Baker. Another push from Baker. And that is just crafty from Schlemmer. A nice little push shot. F&M was all crowded in the front and saw lots of real estate in the back line to put it down. Mellon takes the lead at 15-14. Bankowitz just wide. And even though this is a lot of returning players for the Dips, they are still needing to sort things out, and Coach Salko seems to agree. So F&M's going to call a timeout. They're down 16-14 early in set number 1. Back in the Mayser Center, 16-14 Mellon early in set number one between these two really good squads, both looking to make the NCAA tournament this year. There's a nice quick set to the middle for West, saved by Mellon. And another drop shot. Reichard puts it down this time. And all of a sudden the Tartans are starting to carve up the dips. F&M's going to really need to batten down the hatches and shore up that defense. Baker rolling to her right. Smash in the middle for Jane Dean. Another point for the Tartans. And Justine Amory is going to check back in, this time for Bankowitz. Coach Salko going for a little bit more of a veteran presence in Amory, one of the three co-captains for the Diplomats this year. As we wait for the down official to sort things out with the table. Might be a scoreboard issue as our Director of Communications takes a look. Looks like we're all set to go. Baker just wide. Yeah, the attack for F&M has sort of fizzled out here in the middle of set number one. And we can see the depth in question for F&M as Baker and Penuel seem to be out of commission for tonight. It does leave questions about the attack on the outside for F&M. And obviously this is their first game, so still lots of time to build that chemistry with the setting. But that is a concern as there's another one dropped in on the back line. The Tartans all of a sudden just dominating. And Coach Salko calls another timeout, two quick ones. And out of the timeout, Carnegie Mellon reels off a set of 5 points, and they now have a 20-14 lead. Woodard and Schlemmer just dropping it in at these soft spots. And that just comes down to poor positioning on F&M's part. Again, it's their first game of the year, so plenty of time to be able to sort these things out, but that's definitely something that Coach Salko is talking about in that huddle right now. Figuring out that communication. We've seen a few times on the reception where different players are calling for it and two players going for it. And that's what these early season games are all about, is sorting out that chemistry. And back underway here, Abby Chen, a dangerous server, has the ball for the Tartans. You can see two bodies at the ball again. There's a nice swing in the middle and a kill. Jada West puts that down. And Sydney Levins checking back in for the Dips, replacing Michaela Smith. Amory back to serve. Again, just waiting on that confirmation from the down ref. And here we go. Outside, just wide from Shashia. And they were looking for the touch and were not awarded it. So F&M with a couple points now, trying to claw their way back into this one. It's 20-16. Nice serve from Amory. They go in the middle. Dean pops it up. Saved by Perez. And a little misplay there from Levins. Tartan takes the point. The sophomore Schlemmer to serve. And she gets the ace. Drops it in right in front of Mangum, who still looks to be warming up. Mangum had a dominant year last year, as I mentioned. Defensive Player of the Year. Led the team in digs. And just had an insane playoff run. I mean, she was so fun to watch as F&M went on that run and went all the way to the championship. Just nothing could get by her back there. And now in her senior year, looking to really cement herself as an iconic defensive player. And F&M is able to get another point back there. And Jada West to serve. 22-16 in favor of the Tartans. F&M really needs to get a couple points here. Nice swing from Baker, dug out by Chen. Nice save from the Diplomats. Baker just has to knock it over. The Tartans get set. Shashia, push shot. Saved by Perez. Nice job. And Levens can't quite get the over-the-shoulder play. Nice rally. And now the Tartans are just 2 points away from taking this set. They're up 23-17. And Zoe Gavreau back in the game to serve. Baker, not close. So that is set point now for the Tartans. Here's Gavreau again. Levens just wide. And Carnegie Mellon's going to take set number one by a score of 25-17. The Diplomats were holding strong, and then at the middle of the set, the Tartans flipped the switch and absolutely dominated. Coach Salko had to call 2 timeouts, but could not stop the momentum. And the Tartans take set number one. Well, it was a diverse attack for the Tartans in set number one. Laura Reichard led the team with 5 kills. And then Shashia, Schlemmer, and Dean each chipped in a couple of their own. And you can see Reichard with that .417 hit percentage. That is dominant. And, of course, Schlemmer with .375, really good in her own right. And then, meanwhile, for the Diplomats, couldn't quite get it going. Mangiamelli, Benkowski, and West each with 2 kills. And then Baker, Levens, and Arnold with 1. But the overall hit percentage just really lacking for the Dips. In set number one, only 0.049. Just really cratered as the set went along. Meanwhile, 256 is a pretty solid hit percentage for the Tartans as they really ran away with that one. And a good sign if you're a Tartan fan is just a really nice performance at setter for Mindley Lai. You know, coming in from last year, she was more of a defensive specialist, but then now taking over that setter role, she just looked super comfortable, was spreading the ball around very nicely, getting it to, as I said, multiple attackers, and she seems very comfortable in that role. So that's a great sign for the Tartans, but the Diplomats have a lot to clean up here in set number two as Coach Salko talks things up with the team. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the F&M webcast. Carnegie Mellon takes set number one by a score of 25-17 and are now looking to take set number two. Meanwhile, the Diplomats look pretty shaken up at the end of set number one and are looking to regroup and regain their footing in this match. It's a matchup between two heavyweights. Carnegie Mellon in a preseason poll was ranked number 35 in the country coming into this season. Meanwhile, F&M just missed that criteria, so they're somewhere outside of the top 50. I'd bet somewhere top 50, 60. And right now they are projected number 2 in the Centennial Conference heading into the year. As that one drops in for a kill for Sydney Levens. Good start for the Dips. Yeah, in that preseason poll, F&M voted to finish second after, of course, the incredibly dominant Johns Hopkins, who got every single first-place vote possible. But F&M right now tabbed for second place, and Swarthmore tabbed for third. That F&M Swarthmore matchup should be critical this year, as obviously Johns Hopkins is so difficult to pin down, as they're going to award a touch there, and the Tartans get the point. A nice back and forth between F&M and Swarthmore last year. Swarthmore got F&M in the regular season, and then in the semifinal matchup, F&M was able to beat them by a score of 3-1, and then Swarthmore qualified for the NCAA tournament, and F&M did not. So we can see two very evenly matched teams as they're jockeying for that championship spot against Johns Hopkins. F&M's journey starts tonight. Little push shot from Arnold. There's Schlemmer with the heat. And Perez can't quite receive it. Elizabeth Schlemmer, the lefty, as we mentioned, led the Tartans in kills last year. Here's Gavro with the serve. Baker, not close again. Baker still looking for her swing. Early 3-1 lead for the Tartans. As Levens right off the hands, and an ace for Gavro. Tough for a freshman to crack this Tartans group. They have so many returners that played big parts in their great season last year, but Gavro with 2 aces in a row is really showing off, why she deserves a spot out there. Earning Coach Ann Bach's trust. And that one goes long. Mongimelli and McCarthy checking in for the Dips. And McCarthy getting ready to serve. And a huge block from Mongimelli. The rejection of Laura Reichert, big block. And Mongimelli, as we mentioned, was all state last year. Really exploded onto the scene, didn't contribute much in her freshman year, and then in her sophomore year just took a huge leap and just started to really dominate from that outside as that serve goes wide for McCarthy. And Nea Tamala getting in the game for the first time. She'll be back to serve for Mellon. One of the first years. Probably be more in a defensive specialist role, as she's usually a setter, but obviously Lai has that locked down right now. And point goes to the Dips. Smith back in for F&M. And Jane Dean, the 6'3" Jane Dean back in the game. And Smith back to serve. Huge block. Lauren Arnold sends it back. F&M has such a fun middle blocker tandem between Lauren Arnold and Jada West. Obviously, Jada West had the acclaim last year as one of the best middle hitters in the conference, as that serve goes long from Smith. West had one of the all-time great seasons in terms of blocking for F&M last year, but Lauren Arnold has just been an awesome contributor in her 3 years as well in the program. as that serve goes long from the Tartans. And we can see Arnold checking out and West coming back in. So great for Coach Salko to have those multiple options to work with. There's a swing and a block from Mangiamelli, and it's down. Two big blocks so far early in set two for Gianna Mangiamelli. Yeah, we know she can get the kills. Led the team in kills last year with 271, but that blocking is a huge part of her game as well. And it'd be great to really see her take that next step, as there's a nice swing from Schlemmer in response. Avani Shashia back in the game for Carnegie Mellon. Shashia puts it down on the line. Shashia looking to carve out a little bit of a bigger role this year. Last season she was sort of on the fringes of the rotation, had really solid contributions, but this Tartan team is so deep that it was hard to find playing time for everyone. So this is a great sign for her to get some early kills in. As a little bit of a lucky serve there, I'm sure Reichard would admit. Bounces off the tape and down for the ace. Here's Reichard again. And Jada West looking for the touch. Not going to get it. It's going to go long. And another timeout called by Coach Salko, as F&M trying not to lose their grip on this set. They're down 4. It's 11-7 here in set number 2. Well, we're about halfway into set number 2, and the key stat has to be the attack percentage, the hitting percentage for both teams. There's a stark difference, and there's a reason why the Tartans are in the lead. The Tartans, as a team, have a .231 hit percentage, while the Diplomats have a .020, a 20 hit percentage. So about almost neutral, almost at 0. And we can see that their lack of attack is really allowing the Tartans to have plenty of breathing room to set up their attack. And they are really taking advantage of their opportunities as they get a point fresh out of the timeout. There's another swing. Herkenrother back in the game in the middle. And she's able to put that one down with a nice soft touch. So 2 quick points for Carnegie Mellon out of F&M's timeout. And F&M needs to be careful. This game could really slip away. Here's Reichard again. Nice save by Smith. And there's a much-needed kill. It's Benkowitz who puts it down. The first year in her first match. Her second kill as a Diplomat. That's a much-needed sign for F&M, who really needs to get their attack going. Leah Perez in the game and back to serve. Shashia. Nice dig from Mangum. Can F&M recover? Nice job by Baker to kick that over. And Schlemmer just rains on the parade. Oh, it bounces off the hoop. F&M's not done yet. And there Schlemmer puts it away. Wow, 2 excellent swings from Elizabeth Schlemmer. And F&M did their best to try to stay on that point, but Tartans are able to pull away with it. Yeah, that is part of the fun of the Mayser Center, is that all the sort of interesting pieces on the ceiling just are played as they are. So you can see a bunch of those basketball hoops sometimes that can make for interesting plays. That time it helped F&M to stay in that point. That swing from Shashia is wide. A rare attack error for the Tartans. Levens back in the game. And the first year Bankowitz to serve. Schlemmer dominating from that right side. Another kill. She is coming out of the gate firing here in her first match of the year. Elizabeth Schlemmer in her sophomore season. Only a sophomore for these Tartans. Led the team in kills last year. And is already quickly out to the lead here in just 2 sets. Not even 2 sets yet. And there's a double hit in the back line for F&M. Just not crisp early from the Diplomats. Schlemmer again. Nicely dug out by Bankowitz. That attack goes long from Levens. It's just uncharacteristic for F&M as Coach Salko takes another timeout. Mangum not quite digging, in the way that we expect from the defensive player of the year. The attack just not as crisp as you expect yet from Levens and Mangiamelli. Coco Schultz is out. The setting still getting acclimated for Perez and McCarthy, so a bit of a tune-up game here, and that's, I'm sure obviously they'd like to come out and be super competitive against, a nationally ranked team like the Tartans, but that's what these early games are about, is to try to tune up and figure things out. The competition, 2 great teams tomorrow, of course, with SUNY and Elizabethtown, but those should be easier than Mellon, so hopefully, you learn some things, you come back tomorrow refreshed and come in ready to attack in those games. But in the meantime, this one's not over yet. Only 17-9 in set number 2. Obviously stacked in favor of the Tartans, but they could go on a run here. Get a good server back there, maybe Leah Perez or, Sydney Levens, and try to rack up a couple points, get a rally going. But first, you've got to return the serve of Elizabeth Schlemmer. She is still serving. And there's what you want to see out of the timeout. There's the connection that worked so well last year, Perez to Levens. Levens gets back on the board for the Dips. And Jada West to serve. Schlemmer knocks it over. Levens again, just long. Missed that back line by a hair. And Gavro checks back in. Zoe Gavro, the first year from Tiburon, California. A lot of Californians on this Tartan squad. And puts that one into the tape. It'll be McCarthy and Mangiamelli back in the game. As Coach Salko gives some pointers to that front line. Lauren Arnold anchoring. Serve goes through the hands of Gavro. Nice save from Schlemmer. There's Levens. Nice smash from Sydney Levens. Beautiful swing, and that's what the Dips need, is Sydney Levens to do her thing on a beautiful ball from Hannah McCarthy. Nicely dug out by Bankowitz. Mangiamelli off the blockers and down. So those are the 2 big swingers out there for F&M. Expected. You expect them to do stuff like that. Levens and Mangiamelli back to back. Nice dig. And there's the kill from Jane Dean. on the outside this time. (19-13) for the Tartans. They can afford to give up a few points, just 6 away from taking the second set. And Tamala to serve. There's Arnold rolling to her right. The patented Lauren Arnold. And F&M getting back to a couple of their staples from last year. Arnold obviously on the roll, but then you see Levens and Mangiamelli puncturing from the outside. And Michaela Smith will serve. Nicely done by Lai to keep that in play. Benkowitz, dug out by Chen. Nice block. What a save from Gavro. Are you kidding me? And there's Meredith Mangum with the response. Great rally. Mangiamelli saved. Arnold puts it back. And the Diplomats take the rally. And this is the first time we've seen the Mayser Center really start to pop off. Gives the crowd something to cheer about. F&M only down 4. Just long. Smith saw it. She touched the back line. Oh, that was a close one. But line judge had a great view of it. That serve goes long. And now Mindy Lai to serve. And back line from F&M with the unforced error. Puts it on a platter. And the front line of the Tartans puts it down. So now a 6-point lead. Tartans trying to extend. That one goes long. That one looked pretty close too. Lai just misses on that serve. F&M gets a point back as Jada West returns. And Meredith Mangum ready to serve. Nice smash in the middle. Herkenrother. Just a no-doubter. Nice set from Lai. 22-16. Here's Reichard. West pushes it wide, no touch. And checking in for the first time as a Diplomat, it's Maya Anderson. First year from Charlotte, North Carolina, into the game late in set 2. That one goes wide from Reichard, so F&M still has life. Gonna need to go on a serious run here as Baker and Perez re-enter. Perez to serve. I mean, if there was anybody to serve for F&M that would go on a run, it is Perez. Led the team in aces. I believe was 7th in the conference last year in aces. And there we go. Baker puts it down. So a little difficulty there on the back line for the Tartans on returning that Perez serve. There's one. Nice return from Chen. Perez digs it out. And a double touch, I believe, from Mangum. And it's going to be set point for the Tartans. It's going to be Abby Chen to serve. Just off the tape. Anderson, her first attack. Shashia puts it down, and there's set number 2. Carnegie Mellon takes that one by a score of 25-18. And they are up 2-0 in this match. Well, set number 2 picked off where set number 1 ended. F&M really struggling to get their attack together, just seeming out of sorts. But towards the end of set 2 there, we saw them out of that timeout looking to reestablish some of their identity. We saw some nice attacks, putting pressure on that Tartan back line. And we're able to get some points back, but in the end it was not quite enough. And the Tartans are able to pull away with set number 2. And at the head of the snake for the Tartans, I mean, what can we say about Elizabeth Schlemmer, who has just looked dominant from that right side? She just looks so comfortable with that lefty swing, putting all sorts of pressure on F&M. She leads the team with 8 kills and a .538 hit percentage. I mean, come on. She's also tied for 3rd on the team with 6 digs. So just a great performance from Schlemmer so far. Shashia with 6. Reichard and Dean with 5. And Herkenrother with 3. And freshman Nea Tamala with 1 kill. Meanwhile, for F&M, Levens leads the team with only 4 kills. Again, that attack has just not quite been crisp, like the way you expect to see from the Diplomats. Mangiamelli, Benkowski, and Arnold with 3 kills apiece. West with 2. And Anderson and Baker each credited with a kill. Hello and welcome back to the F&M webcast. This is game 1 of a tournament here in beautiful Lancaster, Pennsylvania. F&M hosting 3 teams in what should be a great tournament. First matchup here in the Mayser Center, F&M versus Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon out to a strong start. They have taken the first 2 sets. And F&M has not really pressed them towards the end of those sets to really make a serious run at them or put serious pressure on them. So they're looking to start off set 3 a little crisper. As Perez serves. Benkowitz, nice swing, and that's down. Melissa Benkowitz, the first year, trying to make that impact on the outside. As we mentioned, Coco Schultz usually would be out there, but we can see she's a little under the weather tonight, which leaves an opportunity for Bankowitz to make a mark in her first game as a dip. That one bounces off the ceiling. Nice save from Lai. They go wide. Bankowitz again. Dug out by Shashia. Bankowitz. Nice save from Perez. Mangum puts it back over, and F&M takes the point. Laura Reichard with a smash that F&M was able to keep in play. They just put it into the back corner, and the Tartans were not able to reel it in. So F&M off to a quick run to start off the match, or the set, I'm sorry. Nice dig from Mangum. Bankowitz, another nice swing. Great dig from Chen. And Bankowitz puts it in the back corner. A couple kills for Bankowitz early in set 3, and that's a great sign. They are feeding her early, too. They're giving her all the swings she can have. Great positioning on that swing. There's Reichard. Misplayed by Mangum. Rare misplay. And it will be Reichard to serve. Mangiamelli pops it over. And nobody home on that set from Perez. Another point for the Tartans. Another unforced error for F&M. Reichard again. Nice swing from Mangiamelli. Great response on a beautiful set from Leah Perez. Mangiamelli this time from the middle. And like I mentioned earlier in the webcast, you know, Mangiamelli in her sophomore year was, just dominant in her all-state season. But, you know, really 2 more years to go for her. She can really take another step and really diversify that attack and just become a really well-rounded player. As a nice sneaky kill from Shashia there. But just very excited to see Mangiamelli this year and hopefully really take the reins and be a dominant offensive player. And looks like the ref was not ready yet for the serve from Chen. So we'll do it one more time. Nice swing from Levens. Straight down the line. Mangum motioning furiously to Lauren Arnold to come on the court. Out wide, there's Schlemmer. Man, is she good. She has just been really putting on a clinic from that right side. And just so poised, too. You know, you just don't really see. Just super quiet, very stealthy, but that swing has so much velocity on it. That serve goes long from her. As McCarthy and Baker return. McCarthy in her senior year, and she had a great bounce-back season last year coming off that devastating leg injury in her sophomore year. She's now a senior and in that setting tandem with Leah Perez. And the two of them just make another great duo. What a save from Mangum, but F&M can't quite get it over the net. But yeah, so fun to watch McCarthy and Perez as they're in sync with their middle blockers. We can see McCarthy and Arnold are synced up. And then Perez and West always going together as well. There's Levens. Nice save from Chen. Levens cross court and gets the kill. Chen almost was able to get that one. That would have been, that was a really tough one. But F&M holding on to an early lead here. It's 8-5 in favor of the Dips. And defensive specialist Michaela Smith to serve. And a booming smash from Laura Reichard. Gets her first kill of the set. Reichard had a really great first set and a solid second set and has yet to get going here, but that's a great sign for her. Tamala re-enters to serve. And gets the ace. Drops it in between Bankowitz and Mangum. Awkward set. Bankowitz has to knock it over. And there's Reichard again from the left side. And that attacking duo, Reichard and Schlemmer, really causing a lot of problems for the blocking of F&M. As we're going to stop to wipe up a wet spot. Mangum kind of has a sixth sense for that. She's always on that. And missed play in the back line from Bankowitz. We're going to play it off the hoop, but what a break for F&M. Like we said, just a lot of oddities here in the Mayser Center. And that attack goes wide from Reichard, so a point that seemed to be far out of reach for F&M. They are saved by the basketball hoop. Tough break for the Tartans. F&M retakes the lead. It's 9-8 here in set number 3. And the refs have a quick discussion about that. And looks like we're going to replay. It was just a little too, I don't know, a little too odd, a little too much of a break there. Bouncing on the hoop, so we're going to replay that point. That seems fair. Tamala to serve. Michaela Smith. Reichard saved by McCarthy. Baker over the shoulder. That's going to go long. Yeah, I think I agree with the refs on that one. I'm not sure the exact rules here for the Mayser Center, but you know, if it just hits off the roof and deflects and comes down, you know, that's one thing. But for it to hang on the backboard like that for such a long time. What a smash from Lauren Arnold, who gets one back for F&M. Off a tee in the middle. Knotted up at 9 apiece in set 3. Here's Mangum. And that is through the hands of Gavro, and an ace for Meredith Mangum. So a much better set here from F&M, but we did see something similar in set number 1 where they sort of had control of the set and then, you know, just the Tartans turned on the Jets. That one just grazes off the tape. Can F&M keep that in play? Is that 4 hits? Yes. Tartans get one back, and Mindy Lai, the senior, to serve. Nice swing. Bankowitz with the hammer on the left side. Couple kills for her this set. Bankowitz now up to 5 kills. I think that may have been her 6th, actually. awesome performance for her in her first match. Nice set. F&M able to keep it in play, and that goes out of bounds. Well, I was about to compliment a nice set and a nice fast set to Herkenrother there, but F&M was somehow managed to hang on. As we take a short pause here to clean up another damp spot on the court. Nice job from F&M, and that's something that we haven't seen so far from them, is just sort of clawing out those points. You know, F&M's definitely a momentum-driven team, so that's really a big sign. Nice drop from Perez. There's the block. Man, the Tartans are so good at staying alive, and the rare attack air from Schlemmer. But yeah, that's what you can just see is such a strength of Mellon. Like, F&M will hit it over, and the Tartans will just find a way to keep that ball in the air and get it back over. They have just been so adept at that in this match. And that's what really separates the good and the great teams. A nice dig from Perez. Mongimelli pushes it over. Hit from Herkenrother. Bankowitz, what another great dig from Chen. Mongimelli, another good save. Looks like F&M took that point, but honestly, I'm a little confused as to what happened. They saw Lauren Arnold running in from the back line. Wish I had more information for you folks. There's a touch. Mangum digs it. Bankowitz again. That's just a little long. Looking for the touch. Mangum imploring to the refs that there was definitely a touch, but does not get the call. Laura Reichard, the senior, to serve. Mongimelli from the middle, and no touch from the Tartans. Man, Mongimelli just has some of those swings that are just so impressive. Still looking to really get going in her, usual form. So far, only 5 kills in these 2.5 sets so far. But once she gets hot, she can really get going. There's another swing, and that's going to be another kill. 2 in a row for Gianna Mongimelli. Coach Ann Bach letting the Tartans play this out and try to, reassert their footing on their own. Levens. Schlemmer. Beautiful rainbow drop shot. Finds the court, and Schlemmer regains the Tartans' composure. Yeah, that's another compliment we can say about this Tartans team is they just have not seemed phased at all. They have no panic and are just able to stay super poised, not letting F&M go on a deep run. As that one goes wide from Mongimelli. 2 quick points for Carnegie Mellon. Nice swing from West, and that's going to drop in. Well, Jada West can certainly bring the heat, but gave a little change up there. Just softly drops it in the middle of the court. And now she's back to serve. That drops in the back corner. Jada West with the dart. Drops it in the corner pocket. And 2 straight kills for her. and make that 3 in a row. Jada West, a little run of her own. 2 straight aces, and there we see it. The first time out for Coach Ann Bach as F&M starting to pull away a little bit here in set number 3. It's 18-13, F&M. Well, a 3-point run courtesy of Jada West. She gets the kill in the middle and then drops 2 aces in. Nice separation for F&M as they're now up 5. But unfortunately, West is iced and puts that one into the net. F&M really needs to dig their heels in right now and get a few more points as Schlummer serves. That's kept in play. Levens, nice swing. Sydney Levens, and that is the classic Sydney Levens. You can see her just soaring in from that back line. She has a lot of hang time. And splits the blockers there and puts that one down. F&M back up by 5. Baker pushes it over. Shashia. Here's Baker again. Another push shot. What an incredible save from Lai, and the Tartans are still in the point. There's a misplay on that one. Free set for the Tartans. Levens pushes it. Blocked. Long rally. F&M gets set. Baker finishes it off. Ray Baker drops the hammer on a long point. And the attack for F&M has really tightened up in set number 3. A great sign for the Diplomats. That serve from McCarthy just wide. Gives a free point back. Zoe Gavro returns. It's 20-15. F&M's first time cracking the 20-point mark. And how about that one? Little miscommunication on the Carnegie Mellon side. Rare miscommunication on their end, and F&M will take that point. Michaela Smith to serve. There's Dean. Baker again. Nice save by Gavro. What a block by Baker and Arnold. Tartan's not going away easily. And that one's just long from Benkowitz. And things definitely looking better for F&M, though. Just looking a little crisper on the attack. And putting the Tartans on their heels. That time just an unforced error from Benkowitz. And it's set 3. Got a little juice here. Tamala to serve. Kept in play by Benkowitz. That might have gone wide. And a double hit there from Mindy Lai. You rarely see that from her. F&M just 3 points away. They're up 22-16. As Abby Chen checks back in. Mangum will serve. Push shot in the middle from Herkenrother. Baker splits the blockers. Man, Ray Baker with a couple clutch kills late in set 3. F&M inching closer to try to take this set. Misplay in the back line from the Tartans. Bankowitz. There's Reichard, and they got the touch. Nice swing from Laura Reichard. Trying to stabilize things, get things going for the Tartans. It's 23-17. They're going to need a serious run. Mindy Lai to serve. Bankowitz. And that goes down. I wasn't sure if that got over the net on the block. But Bankowitz is going to get that kill. And it is set point for F&M. And who else to serve? Leah Perez, arguably the best server on the team, looking to put away this set. Nice swing from Schlemmer, and that's going to get down just off the fingertips of Jada West. And Elizabeth Schlemmer does not make it easy. She racks up another kill. I believe that's number 11 on the match for her. And another misplay on that back line. Nice serve from Reichard. Mangiamelli from the middle returned. Schlemmer, another push shot. Man, Elizabeth Schlemmer, she is just crazy. What's crazy about Schlemmer is she's got that, obviously she brings the heat, but she has dropped so many in there, really exposing that middle section, that underbelly of the F&M defense as she racks up kill number 12. F&M still in control of this set, but it's 24-20, and a little three-point run there for the Tartans. Coach Sulko calls timeout to just talk things over and stabilize things. But on the whole, other than that little run there from the Tartans, F&M has really looked a lot more comfortable this set. We can see them really spraying the attack. But we've just seen a little bit of crisper attacking, especially from Bankowitz, who's really really blossomed this set and really start to, get some solid attacks. We also saw a nice couple from Baker. Obviously, Mangiamelli and Levens staying involved, but that's a great sign for F&M just to start to get that attacking identity again. They are just 1 point away. They're going to have to return the serve of Reichard, though. They get a couple chances to do it, though. And Coach Sulko just calming everybody down in the circle, hoping to ice Reichard a little bit as well. And here we go, set point number 4. Mangiamelli gets the kill. And there it is, Perez to Mangiamelli. And that is it for set number 3. So F&M's on the board. The Tartans still hold a 2-1 lead, but that is a much-needed bounce-back set for F&M as they stay alive. And they started strong and just kept that momentum throughout the entire set. And, I think the most important thing was to really see Mangiamelli get comfortable and start to get back to herself. She has 8 kills on the match. Levens also with 8 of her own. And Benkowski, how about that? 7 kills in her first match as a Diplomat. Brings her hit percentage up to 182. Lauren Arnold also chipping in with 4 kills. Baker and West with 3 apiece. So really good signs there on the F&M side. Meanwhile, Carnegie Mellon drops that set, but of course always stays competitive. Schlemmer leads all attackers with 12 kills on the evening. Reichard with 9, Shashia with 8, Dean with 5, and Herkenrother with 3. So set 4 coming up here in what's turned into a bit of a spicy matchup. Obviously, we were expecting coming into the match that, these were two really good teams that were going to duke it out. Weren't sure what to expect from the Tartans. Obviously, as I mentioned, they lost their star setter, Stella Jan, who was first-team conference last year and was just such an integral part of this team's identity. But Mindy Lai has really looked terrific for the Tartans and has really sprayed that attack out. But we can just see the emergence of Schlemmer, as she obviously led the team in kills last year, but has even just seemed to take on a more prominent role this year, just really setting the tone, doing it all sorts of ways, as I mentioned, dropping in the hammer, but also, floating in those kills into the middle of the court. Just looks so comfortable out there as only a sophomore. That's crazy. And meanwhile for F&M, missing a couple key attackers tonight. We haven't seen the great Coco Schultz yet entering her sophomore year. She's another great server as well. She actually actually has the best serve reception percentage in F&M history so far in her young career, with a .935 reception percentage. So hopefully will feel better soon. Seems to be a little under the weather tonight. McKenna Penuel, also, we have not seen her yet. Bella Ganfield, also, I've seen her in a mask, so she may be out. Only a few spot minutes so far from Justine Amory, one of the 3 co-captains this year. A great honor for her to be named one of the 3 captains, and only her junior year. So we can really see how Coach Salko really values her. There's a lot of, high character players on that F&M bench, and Justine Amory really, that's a great sign to see her given that respect. Been fun to see 2 first years on the court for F&M. Obviously, Benkowitz getting the serious run time and chipping in a lot of kills so far in her debut, but we also saw Maya Anderson on the court for the first time from Charlotte, North Carolina. They are 2 of the 5 first years for F&M. We also see Miley Sugamura. We haven't seen her yet. Libero from Bellevue, Washington. We also have Paula Elguera from Ellicott City, Maryland, went to River Hill High School. Another middle blocker, hasn't quite gotten a chance to get on the court yet, but seems to be a promising young player. And then Emily Dean, setter from Edmonds, Washington, another Washington player. We haven't seen her in the setter spot. Obviously, McCarthy and Perez have really locked that position down, but Dean, excited to see her as the season goes on. So we just welcome all those first years to the F&M family, and excited to see all of them contribute. As set number 4 is underway, the Tartans take the first point, and they're going to take point number 2 as well. Mindy Lai will serve again. There's Jada West in the middle. And dropped in for the kill. Laura Reichard adds another to her total. I believe that is kill number 10 on the evening for her, so she cracks double digits. Mangiamelli, nice swing. And that's going to find the ground. Mangiamelli from that right side. Nice set from Perez. Schlemmer. Nice save from West in the back line. Levens bounces it off the tape. And that block from Mangiamelli just goes wide. So I believe that's going to be another Laura Reichard kill, as Ivani Shashia returns. There's Shashia. Levens rejected. That's Schlemmer and Elizabeth Phillips. Phillips getting a little bit of run here in her first year with the team. The first year from Fishers, Indiana. Nice serve, dug out by F&M. Mangiamelli blocked. Push shot goes wide from Levens. F&M out of sorts to start off set 4. Mellon out to a 6-1 lead. Yikes. And this is a move Coach Sulko likes to do to calm things down. Justine Amory in the game. Amory gets a swing. Misplayed by Lai, and F&M will get the point. Amory fresh into the game, gets that kill. Yeah, that's a move similar to what Coach Sulko had last year. Anne-Marie early in her senior year was one of those stabilizing forces that, you know, Coach Sulko just trusted to go out there and make plays happen the right way. And Amory may be looking ticketed to a similar role this year. Schlemmer, nice block from Arnold. Shashia, what a dig from Mangum. Oh my goodness. Shashia again, and the block goes wide. So 2 great attacks from Avani Shashia. That second one goes down, and she's going to get the kill. Here's the libero Chen. Arnold push shot. Nice dig from Lai. Baker on the run. And that is sent back from Jane Dean. Yeah, Coach Sulko is going to need to talk this one over. F&M not looking comfortable after a nice set 3 win. The Tartans are up 8-2 in set number 4. F&M out to a shaky start in set number 4. The Tartans really putting the pressure on. They're up 8-2. And picking up right where they left off, Abby Chen drops in a beautiful serve to get the ace. Well, and here she is, Coco Schultz, mask on, is in the game for the first time for F&M. A little under the weather, but that does not matter. Coco Schultz into the game, gets her first kill, drops it beautifully in the back corner. And it is great to see her out there. Maybe not feeling 100% tonight, but man, she can be such a difference maker for this team. We can see immediately her impact. Drops it in off the tape. Nice dig from Shashia. Nice block from Schlemmer, and Baker puts it down. 2 quick points for F&M. Schultz will serve again. Shashia. Nice dig from Benkowitz. Great block from Shashia. She's been having a great set. Nice dig from Schultz. Benkowitz. And that drops down. Ooh, that was close. Obviously a great block from the Tartans. I just wasn't quite sure if that touched the line. Oh, yeah, and it did go wide. That is what I thought. I thought it went wide. They originally motioned that was the Tartans' point, but F&M does get it. So 3 in a row. And there's Schlemmer just evening the score once again. (10-5) Tartans. Set 4. And Arnold puts it down. Nice smash from Arnold in the middle. As she leaves the game, West comes back in. And here's Mangum. Shashia. Avani Shashia from the left side doing damage. She has been on fire to start this set. In her senior year from Cincinnati, Ohio, Shashia was a solid contributor last year, but this year really looking to, she's a huge part of that attack for them. Bankowitz, cross court. Chen saves it. Baker. Bankowitz off the blockers and down. And as this match is going on, Melissa Bankowitz has really starting to feel more comfortable. We can see that attack has just been super crisp from her. That one with great velocity right off the outside blocker there. F&M clawing their way back into this set. It's 11-7 in favor of the Tartans. Leah Perez. There's Dean. Nice dig from Mangum, one-handed. Mangiamelli. Oh, what a dig from Chen. Oh, my goodness. And that just goes wide on the attack from Mellon, but wow, what a dig from Abby Chen. And you can see why she's such a huge part of what they do. Obviously was honorable mention conference and a really great conference. 4th in the conference in digs. So really fun to watch her and Mangum square off tonight. There's a nice swing from Mangiamelli. Mangum. Mangiamelli again, and that one drops. Gianna Mangiamelli heating up in set number 4. And that's going to be a timeout for Mellon. Coach Bach needs to talk it over. So F&M finding their way back into set number 4. Really rough start, down 8-2. Coach Salko needed to call a timeout. And now we can see F&M only down 2. It's 11-9 in favor of the Tartans. And with that kill, Mangiamelli cracks double digits. She's up to 10 on the match. And Bankowitz in her first game has 9 kills. That is just awesome. Her hit percentage continues to rise. Levens with 8 kills of her own. Arnold with 5. Baker with 4. West with 3. And a fun little cameo from Coco Schultz there. We hope she can keep playing. Curious what her status will be tomorrow. But yeah, Schultz is just such a huge part of that attack. I mean, it's obviously great to see Baker and Bankowitz looking to make contributions. Bankowitz especially has really started to look comfortable. But man, that trio of Mangiamelli, Levens, and Schultz, it's just a handful for the opposition. So great to see Schultz back on the court. We can see her out there, number 4. And down 2, here's Leah Perez. Dean on the run. Mangum is just emphatic that she was able to get that pancake in, but the up ref rules in favor of the Tartans. And Mangum gets fired up out there. That's great to see. That's what you really want there. Bankowitz drops it in. What a shot. Melissa Bankowitz with the touch. Yeah, beautiful changeup. She has just started to look so comfortable. As we look to mop up a damp spot, Bankowitz was all-state in her sophomore year in Chapel Hill. She was 2-time all-conference selection in her junior and senior year. I mean, just that sophomore year, though, all-state. I mean, that's the type of pedigree that you need to really solidify a spot in a really good program like F&M. And great to see her just Swinging, coming out swinging. Here's Schultz. Nice dig from Gavro. Mangiamelli, drop shot, it's in! Gianna Mangiamelli with another kill. And F&M's only down 1. Schultz and Bankowitz holding down the secondary attack, and then Mangiamelli, a wrecking ball. Misplayed, but nice save from Reichard. West pops it up, Joust. Schultz outside, drops it in. Coco Schultz, kill number 2 on the year. Yeah, might not have her, 95-mile-an-hour fastball tonight, but, she's able to just drop that little blooper in. She's, only a sophomore, but she just has that experience. She's just so comfortable with a varied attack. There's a nice swing from Phillips. What a swing. Mangiamelli dug out. How? Schultz again. Takes a rip. Nice save by Chen. Mangiamelli. Into the net. What a save from Lai. Oh, a heroic play from Lai to dig that out of the net. And that drops in. The Tartans win the rally. This Tartan team does not quit. It is so hard to get the ball down on their side. That time, the ball goes into the net. Lai waits patiently and pops it out for a beautiful set. And there's West with the response. Back and forth we go. We're tied up at 13. Jada West to serve. That serve goes into the net from West. And that's something that F&M has cleaned up from last year. A huge problem they had last year was the service errors. And tonight I think we've only seen 2 or 3 from F&M, so that's a great sign. That really helps when you don't give away those free points. Both teams have been pretty crisp on the serve. Schultz again. Another drop shot. Just, flicks that topspin on there and finds the open court. Coco Schultz making an impact. Now she's able to get on the court here in set 4. Here's Hannah McCarthy. Schlemmer nowhere to go. And that is sent back by Schultz and Arnold. Yeah, just that set was just a little bit ahead of where Schlemmer could reach it. And just had to push it right into the waiting arms of Arnold. So F&M takes the lead for the first time here in set number 4. And there's Schlemmer on a little revenge. That's kill number 14 for Schlemmer. Oh! Slip and fall. I didn't see who that was. That was Ray Baker. Was rolling to her right. She gets up with a smile on her face, so it looks like she's okay, but a couple chuckles from the F&M team. They seem to like that. Yeah, Baker just rolls to her right and just lost her footing there. Hits the deck. Ray Baker, a popular player on that F&M team. Last year, she was, really just in that hype girl role. Every team needs one. But we've seen her skills on the court so far in today's match, and she's done a great job. Little blooper there aside. Schultz, little awkward attack. Schlemmer, what a dig from Mangum, who bounces off the ceiling and a misplay in the front line. Another great attack from Elizabeth Schlemmer. And there's an ace from Abby Chen. Mangum just sails to her left there and can't quite reel it in. Another ace for Chen. Ace number 2, 2 in a row for Abby Chen. And Coach Salko has seen enough. Well, all knotted up there, and then a quick little run. And all of a sudden, Carnegie Mellon is up 4 in set number 4. And just like that, they might be closing in on a match victory. Man, these last 2 sets have been really fun. F&M figuring things out, but then, the Tartans bouncing back in a great way to try to take control of this 4th set. And, we've seen their key contributors really stepping up. Schlemmer, Lai, Reichard, and Chen really doing a lot of damage. But, this is a deep Tartan squad. We've seen a lot of contributions up and down the board. Herkenrother in the middle has chipped in well. Jane Dean. Gavro on the serve. Shashia obviously on that outside. Haven't seen Bella Woodard yet. I was sort of expecting to see her. She was another solid contributor on their team last year. But just a lot of quality players on that Carnegie Mellon team. So tough for everybody to get in. Well, about ready to resume. Carnegie Mellon up 4. As we get to the final stages of set 4, Michaela Smith checks back in, this time for Benkowitz. Chen has 2 aces. Here's another serve. Great dig from Mangum to save that one. Schultz pops it over. What a shot from Coco Schultz. Side to side, nowhere really to go for her, and just pops it and somehow finds that open court on the left side. Great shot from Coco Schultz. F&M has really needed her here in set number 4. Benkowitz returns for Smith. F&M leaning on a little more offense right now. McCarthy the setter. Schlemmer. Benkowitz. Nice block. Schlemmer again. Nicely done by Benkowitz to keep that in play. Another Schlemmer. Another dig, this time from McCarthy. Baker. They switch it up. Shashia, and Shashia puts it down. 3 straight attacks for Schlemmer, and then they switch it up and go to the left side, and Shashia is able to take advantage there. The blocker is not quite sure where to go on that one. Benkowitz. Here's Dean. Nice swing from Jane Dean. On the roll to her right. Finds that back middle cushion on the F&M line and is able to get the point. Unfortunate hit. What a play by Mangum to keep that in play. That bounced off the ceiling. So they were almost dead in the water, and another great dig from Mangum. And Benkowitz just leans back a little too far, sends that long. Man, Mangum, 2 incredible digs on that play. Still a Tartan point, though. And now it's 22-16. Mellon really pulling away in set 4. F&M needs a run. Shashia again drops it in on the back line. And the Tartans are now 2 points away from taking this match. It looks like there's another damp spot on the court. Take a quick pause to take care of that. Man, the Tartans have really turned on the Jets here to pull away in set 4. Just been absolutely dominant, and obviously we've seen Schlemmer do it, but Shashia with a couple huge kills of her own. 23-16. Shashia again. Nice save from McCarthy. Baker. And F&M is going to win the point. Yes, big point for F&M. They're down 6, so definitely a tall order. A little pause here. Down ref just taking a second. Ooh, yeah, okay, so Mellon is going to get that point, and it is now match point. Huge call. Lauren Arnold drops one in, though. Trying to keep F&M in this one. Here's Mangum to serve. Baker. Rejected, and that's going to do it. Huge block from Shashia and Dean. And Carnegie Mellon takes set number 4 by a score of 25-17. And they win the match 3-1. Well, a fun conclusion to this match. Carnegie Mellon really pulled away in set 1. And then set 2 was just dominant on their end, but F&M was able to wrest back control in set 3. And then about evened up at about 15 apiece. And then you can see just a crazy run from the Tartans, a 10-2 run to close out set number 4. And the Tartans start off their year with a victory. Meanwhile, the Diplomats looking to get back to the Centennial Conference Championship. They lose in this first matchup against a really good Tartans team. And we saw their team start to, form their identity that they had so well last year, but definitely a lot to clean up. But they'll get a chance to do it very shortly. In less than 24 hours, they'll be back in action right here in the Mayser Center. Their first game is against SUNY Geneseo. That is at noon tomorrow. And then they play E-Town at 2:30. And those are going to be right back here on the F&M webcast. So we hope you join us for those. Well, that's all for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll see you tomorrow for games 2 and 3 of this tournament.